Okay, it looks like we are live. Let me cut to this tighter shot. So I'm Craig Ship, craigship.com, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this app here just for a second and see if we keep broadcasting, because I'm going to want to use my phone during the broadcast. Yeah, it looks like the broadcast continued, even though I killed the app on my phone. And so the topic of this live broadcast, and the only reason I'm doing it live is this way I don't have to edit after the fact. It doesn't have to be live, but it just saves me time. And so can you change the world? I watched a couple of documentaries recently on Netflix. One was about Ray Kroc and McDonald's, and the other one, the National Enquirer, and what he built up, the empire that he built up. And both entities had an effect on the world in different ways. McDonald's, you could make the argument, really jump-started the fast food phenomenon in the United States of America. Not that that's necessarily a good thing, but they did that. So, and the National Enquirer really changed the media in a lot of ways, and then of course he got out right before this internet thing came around, which has really changed the world. And of course we know the people, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, the people that changed the world there. Let me grab this call. This is my dad, and I'm going to ask him to check the audio level. Can you hear me? Can you go to my Facebook and look at the live stream and see what the audio level is like? Just go to my Facebook page, my Facebook stream, and then check that out and see what the audio level is like. Is it does it sound good, or is it too hot? Is it too low? Is it how's that sound? So does the audio sound okay? Okay, so the audio level is good. Okay, so let me do this. Let me give you a quick walkthrough of what we have set up here first, and then I can go deeper into the subject. I'm hearing feedback back through, Dad, so I'm going to hang up and just do the broadcast because I'm got a delay and I'm hearing feedback back through. So I might call you during the show, but I'm going to hang up for now. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to give you a shot of the setup here and go through that real quick. There's camera 3. I have 3 cameras, and then I have the laptop plugged in. The laptop is right here, of course, and I can cut to the laptop at any time and show you what's on the screen. So this shot here is kind of showing you the equipment that I have in the studio here, and it's a quick, fairly easy setup. I have this switcher here that I can switch through 4 different shots. Again, it's 3 camera shots, and then the 4th one is the laptop. And then right here I have a mixer, sound audio mixer. This is my Sound Devices MixPre 6, which I really love. I use this in the field when I shoot videos in the field, and then when I'm here in the studio I can bring it in and just mount it on this Arca Swiss plate right here. I use Arca Swiss for everything, and then I can just plug in my microphone to this and use this very high quality preamp for my mixer here, and I can have up to 4 inputs into this, 4 XLR inputs into that little mixer, and it's also a recorder. I could hit record and record the audio as well if I chose to. So that is a great mixer to use both in the field and here in the office. Same thing with the cameras. I have 3 cameras. The first shot is my Sony a7S Mark II, which is right there, and that's a wide angle. That's a 24 millimeter wide shot, again showing you the setup here. My second camera is my Sony a6500 with a 40 millimeter Voigtlander lens on it, and that is the tight shot that you see. Both those cameras are about the same distance away from me, about, I'd say, 4 feet away from me. And this gives you that shallow depth of field look where the background is a little bit blurred, and you get that nice separation of your subject from the background. Imagine if I was somebody that actually looked good on TV. Imagine what the shot would be like. I know that takes a lot of imagination. And by the way, since I did mention that, I am looking for one person, just one, to help change the world. Okay? So if you think that you have the acumen, that you have the drive, that you have the desire to want to really change the world and do something positive that has a huge impact, get in touch with me and we can talk and I can help you along that road. And I'm looking for somebody young, full of energy, the opposite of me. I'm 60 years old, will be in February. Somebody young, ready to really take the bull by the horns and make exciting things happen. So get in touch with me if you think that you have what it takes to really make a difference. And then I'm going to talk also about Bitcoin. I almost never talk about this. I've done a few shows about it recently because a gentleman in Baltimore who goes by the Bitcoin Meister and I have connected, and my dad actually did a video interviewing him that's on my YouTube channel that has 40,000 views, more than 40,000 views now. And that was a really fun interview. And when I say change the world, Bitcoin is something that could possibly change the world. And I'm going to cut to my laptop now and show you what I have up on the screen right now. And it looks like the price right now is $38.72 per Bitcoin, 3,872. Let me just refresh this. It should refresh automatically, but I'm just making sure. Okay, so now that's saying 38.77. And if you look here in the last month, it's up 66%. In the last week, it's up 21%, or $659. In the last day, it's up $356, or 10%, just in the last day alone. Okay, so we'll leave it on the, actually, I'm going to leave it on the 1 month view. And the reason that this is intriguing, the reason that Bitcoin is intriguing, and I'll cut back to my wide shot so you can see the setup a little bit. The reason that Bitcoin is intriguing, at least to me, is this is something that could actually change the world and actually change it significantly for the better. And for those of you that are not familiar with Bitcoin, let me just go through the very basics of what Bitcoin is all about. Bitcoin is a way that transactions can be validated and done securely. And so let me give you an analogy. Let's say I have 1 Bitcoin and I want to send it to somebody over in India. The problem with any kind of electronic transaction is usually they can be hacked, they can be duplicated. Like, for example, that 1 Bitcoin, I could send it to like 3 different people and each one thinks they're getting the Bitcoin, but maybe 2 of them aren't really getting the Bitcoin. So there can be all kinds of problems associated with electronic currency, with me being able to send an item of value from me to somebody else halfway across the world. And what Bitcoin did was, through cryptography and a bunch of complicated stuff that's way over my head, they've been able to come up with a way to securely, A, store your Bitcoin on what is called a blockchain, and B, allow you to move that Bitcoin from you to somebody else and do it securely. It's important to note that since day one, and Bitcoin's been around, I don't know, 8 years, something like that, hackers have tried and tried and tried to hack Bitcoin, and they've been totally unsuccessful. Bitcoin has never been hacked. They've never been able to get into the system, the blockchain, and the system of computers. It's decentralized. They have not been able to get in and take Bitcoin out of there, or manipulate Bitcoin to somewhere where it shouldn't be, or whatever, or duplicate Bitcoin. They've tried all these things and they haven't been able to do any of them. The only times that Bitcoin has been, quote, hacked, it hasn't really been hacked. What's happened is a third party was holding somebody's Bitcoin. So, for example, if I have my Bitcoin and I tell somebody else to hold on to my Bitcoin for me, and then somebody steals it from them, that's not Bitcoin getting hacked. That's them not holding the Bitcoin securely. And let me real quickly touch on that. There are a couple of ways to hold your Bitcoin. There's a software wallet, which is an online wallet. There's a wallet on your computer, which it's just really how you access the Bitcoin, which is always up on the blockchain. But when we say a wallet, it's really allowing you to access it. And you have something called a private key that allows you to access your Bitcoin, which is on the decentralized blockchain. And the problem is, how do you keep that key? And how do you keep it secure? If you just keep it on your computer and somebody hacks your computer, then they can get your Bitcoin. If you're keeping your Bitcoin on an exchange like Coinbase, like I just showed you, and somebody hacks Coinbase, they might be able to get your Bitcoin. Because again, Coinbase is storing your Bitcoin for you. So the way that I store my Bitcoin and the way that is generally acknowledged as being secure is I have something called a hardware wallet, a Trezor hardware wallet that I use to store my Bitcoin. And that is a hardware device that actually plugs into your computer and actually does the authentication that verifies who you are and so on, and basically gives you access to your Bitcoin and access to do what you want with your Bitcoin. So if somebody doesn't have that actual hardware piece, it's very hard for them to hack and get access to your Bitcoin. So that's just a quick rundown. Now let me go into why I think Bitcoin could change the world. Is there's a big problem with what we call fiat currency, for example, the US dollar, and that is that they can print basically unlimited amounts of it. And there's no telling how much circulation there can be. Also, bad hombres can make counterfeit US dollars. Even when they come out with the new bills, it isn't long before the counterfeiters figure out how to fake those things. And they can even counterfeit older bills that are still in circulation that don't have as many security features. So counterfeiting is a big problem. And then you have countries like Venezuela that have all kinds of political issues and corruptions and so on and so forth, where the currency issues can even be more severe, where they can devalue your currency and you end up with no money and you have to take a wheelbarrow full of money to go buy some groceries. So there are a lot of problems with what we call fiat currency, currencies that are created and backed by governments and or regulated by governments. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it is not connected to any government. It's not connected to any individual. There's nobody that's the boss of Bitcoin. There's nobody that you can go to and say, I want you to reverse a transaction I just did, or I want you to give me extra Bitcoin. I want you to print some extra Bitcoin. There's nobody that can do that. There's nobody that's has enough control to be able to change the rules in the middle of the game. And so Bitcoin is capped at 21 million Bitcoin total will ever be produced. About 16 million have been produced to date, and 21 million is the total. And some Bitcoin have been lost because people have lost access to their Bitcoin because they've forgotten their private key. They had their Bitcoin private key and all that information on a hard drive in a computer, and that hard drive went south, or they just threw it away years ago when Bitcoin wasn't very valuable. And so there's a whole lot of reasons why many of the Bitcoin have been lost, maybe as many as a couple million. So we don't know the total number that have been lost. So 21 million is the total that there can ever be, less whatever Bitcoin have been lost. So the point is, it's a finite supply. And if you have a limited supply of something, yet you have demand for that item, if the demand increases, then the value has to go up because you have a limited supply. Whereas with fiat currencies like the US dollar or something, they can just increase the supply. They can just print more whenever they want to. And so there's no real guarantee that it's not going to lose value. And in fact, it has lost value over the years. The buying power of the US dollar has lost value whereas something like Bitcoin, the buying power of it has gone up tremendously because, again, it's a limited supply item. Recently, it's gone up quite a bit because some technical issues that they've been working on have been partially resolved, and people have confidence that it's going to be okay and it's going to survive, and so it's had a run up here recently. And Bitcoin has been like this traditionally, where it's run up and then it plateaus and goes along for a while, and then it goes down and then it runs up again. But in general, it's been up significantly, and I'll give you a few examples here. If we go back to the chart here, if I go to 1 year, you can see here back in August of last year, it was $538. Okay, in December of last year, it was $1,051. Then it dropped down to $823. Then it went up in March of this year to $1,200. Then it went down to $988 towards the end of that month. Then it's been steady going up. It went up to $2,800 on the 11th of June. Then it had a dip down right about here. It went down to 2,000. I think it even went down to like as low as 1,850 at some point. I'm not seeing it on this chart, but they're showing 2,000. And now it's just been up and up and up and up and up here recently, to where right now it's at all-time highs, $3,895 a Bitcoin. So the trend has been up. And if somebody was fortunate enough to buy it back in 2011, you could have bought it at maybe $3 a Bitcoin. So let me click on all time here and see how far back this chart goes. This chart only goes back to January of 2013, where it was $13 a Bitcoin. So even if you got in January of 2013, you could have bought this for $13, okay? And we're looking at a return. It's not even showing the return, how much it is for all time. But again, for 1 year, it's 564% in the last year. So needless to say, well, wait, did I switch to that when I showed you that? Well, anyway, let me show you the year. Maybe I forgot to switch to that view. Okay, so here we are all the way back in January 2013, $13. Then you can see here it peaked there, then it went down, then it went back up, and then it's just been up and up and up like the last year or so. So just in case I don't remember if I switched to that when I was showing you. So let me go back to the 1 month chart. That's an interesting chart. Okay, so again, the theme of this video is changing the world, and I can't really help you get involved in Bitcoin as far as being a Bitcoin developer or otherwise involved in that phenomenon. Of course, you can buy some Bitcoin. But I can help you locally. If you're one of my friends on Facebook and you're in Frederick County, for example, I have Frederick.com, and it's a community effort comprised mainly of owner-operator businesses who are working together to promote the concept that owner-operator businesses, and many times, are a better option for you than going to the big box stores. Like going to a mom and pop restaurant, for example, might be better than going to one of the big chain restaurants. And Frederick.com is dedicated to introducing people to these owner-operator businesses and helping these owner-operator businesses reach people via the internet using tools like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, of course, Frederick.com, all the things it has going for it. Then we have sister sites like WashingtonCounty.com. We have MontgomeryCountyMD.com. We have CityOfBaltimore.com. We have a number of sites in the region that are in the same network and have the same mission, which is basically just to help local owner-operator businesses leverage the internet. We'll even help them build a small website for their business if they want a standalone website in addition to their listing on Frederick.com, and we do that very affordably. We are really shaking things up as far as helping small owner-operator businesses and doing it extremely efficiently. For example, our business story videos that we're putting up, and you can go to facebook.com/Frederick County, facebook.com/Frederick County, and you can see those business story videos we've been putting up. We've been doing those for businesses when they renew their sponsorship on Frederick.com at no additional cost, which is kind of unheard of for a videographer to go out and do a multi-camera shoot with good audio and do a what we call a business story video for that business and have it get thousands of views and basically charge nothing for it. We're doing it gratis to reward our longtime sponsors that have been on Frederick.com, listed on Frederick.com. And the annual fee is extremely affordable to be a sponsor on Frederick.com, considering everything that you get. There is no form of media that even comes close as far as the amount of visibility that you get for the dollar value on Frederick.com. So what we're looking for is one individual, just one. We're not looking for 20 people here. We're looking for one individual that is comfortable to be on camera like I am right now, that is comfortable helping other people be on camera and tell their story, and that wants to learn a little bit about technology and how to leverage the internet. It's not rocket science. We can train the right person. They want to learn a little bit about photography because we take photos and, like I say, shoot videos and all at the businesses. So you would want to learn a little bit about photography. But the main thing is being able to work with local businesses and help them leverage the internet and enjoy doing that and enjoy being out and about and talking to business owners and meeting people. Young person is who we're looking for, preferably a high school graduate. Again, comfortable being on camera. All right, if you're shy, probably this isn't the right gig for you, right? But if you're comfortable being on camera, because some of the businesses that we do videos for, they don't want to be on camera. So if you're comfortable on camera and you can interview them and kind of help them out, that'll go a long way to making them more comfortable telling their story. Sometimes we'll shoot videos where we'll just shoot a series of clips showing the place off and do like a voiceover. So we can do that also. So a lot of ways we can make this work, but it helps if you're comfortable with what we're doing as far as being on camera and getting out there and making things happen. So everybody says that they want to support small owner-operator businesses. We're going to give one individual an opportunity to put their time and effort and energies behind that concept and to help make that happen. That one individual will be paid extremely well. Okay, they're gonna be very comfortable. This business has been very good to me. I've been doing it for almost 20 years, and like I say, I cannot complain at all. So whoever kind of steps in and takes the torch and runs with this, you're going to be in really good shape financially. And what's good about this business is many people complain that spouses, that both individuals have to work. Oh, I've got no choice. We have to work in order to make ends meet. We both have to have a job. If you come to work with our organization, that's not the case. One breadwinner, whether it be the male or the female, or if they work as a team and they kind of split off, right? One works part-time, the other one works part-time, 2 equals a full-time, right? You're going to be able to make a very good income and support your family off of one income. And I'm a firm believer that, especially if you have children, that it is not a good idea for both parents to be working full-time. Now, if they in effect have a full-time career that they're working together as a team, let's say, for example, you were in real estate and both, the husband and wife both work real estate and both have licenses, Now you can juggle around, and one can be home with the kids while the other is working. And so 2 part-time jobs can equal 1 full-time job, basically. But I don't agree that both parents should have a full-time job, and I don't agree that that's necessary in this day and age. I think if you have a good, strong source of income from one person, that can support the household. And so if you're looking for that sort of thing, if you're looking for a career that has a heavy income and heavy reward, and that you're going to feel good every day about what you're doing, your mission is solid and good for the community, and that you can actually change the world in a very positive way, get in touch with me. And if you don't know how to get in touch with me, then this is probably not for you. If you can't figure out how to get in touch with me, then maybe this opportunity is not appropriate. But if you do want to talk about it, get in touch with me. The world is changing. I just demonstrated it with Bitcoin, with what's going on with Bitcoin. Everybody knows, or most people should know, that the internet is a big deal, that the internet is the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room. And so small businesses need to take advantage of the internet. They need to leverage the internet, and they need somebody to help them with that. They need somebody who knows what they're doing, who has the tools to make things happen, that has the network to make sure that their business actually gets seen and heard from, and can put all of this together in an affordable way, in an affordable package, that on an ongoing basis, that business is going to be successful and going to be successful in leveraging the internet. So every small business needs this service. They know how to run their business. If it's a restaurant, they know how to serve people and get that great food on the table and have a successful business. They don't know how to leverage the internet. They don't know how to take care of these issues, and they're victimized all the time by con artists that are selling them, quote, SEO, that don't have a clue. I went to a seminar, a local radio station put on a seminar about SEO and how they're experts at all this stuff. And I went on their Facebook and went on their YouTube. They have no following at all. The people that were involved have no clue. They've been doing this for like a couple of months, right? Those of us that have been doing it for 20 years, we have a little bit of knowledge, but people that have been doing it for 2 months, they got no knowledge at all. So watch out. There are a lot of charlatans out there. There are a lot of people selling things that they have no clue what they're doing. They're just taking money away from small businesses that cannot afford to waste money on things like that. You have to get, a small business owner has to get a good return on the money they put out. And so that's what we're all about, is making sure that the small business owner is able to really leverage this thing called the internet, make it work for them, strengthen numbers. We all band together, we work together, we do business with each other, we promote each other. Everybody wins here. So so that's my message for today. I'm trying to think what else I should cover. Well, check out Frederick.com. And by the way, we got a whole new redesign of the site coming. It's about an 8-year-old design right now. Still good, still works fine. But we're going to kind of, we're redesigning and revamping everything. And so it's going to be really cool. We do have links on the homepage of Frederick.com to the Facebook page, but it's just facebook.com/Frederick County, facebook.com/Frederick County. Follow us on Twitter also, twitter.com/Frederick County, twitter.com/Frederick County. And I'm going to see if I can wrap this broadcast without blowing it. Before I do that, let me run through one more time the setup that I have here. In case anybody watched this long, they deserve a little walkthrough. So let me go to camera 3. Okay, so what I have here is I have the preview monitor here, which is showing us the 4 available camera shots. This again is my Sound Devices Mix Pre 6 mixer that I'm using for audio. And right now I'm on camera number 3 that you can see is red right here. I could do a fade switch back to camera number 1, and then I can go back again like that with this little fader bar. Then I can go to, so let me go just right through the camera shots here in order. There's camera 1, the wide shot. There's camera 2, the shot I've been using most of the time. This is camera 3, again showing the equipment, and then camera 4 is showing the laptop. Go back to camera 3. Now we have something called side-by-side picture-in-picture like this, and you can see here where I can actually adjust what's in this frame. So if I want to just show the switcher, and I want to move this over a little bit, I can center me. So now you can see me talking, and you can see the switcher. So if I switch from, let's see, switch to camera 2. Oh, that's going to switch that one. Okay, so I don't really want to do that. So I'm trying to show you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this effect off so we can just show you this, because you've seen enough of me already. Okay, so again, we've got the preview monitor here, which is the 4 shots I just ran through. We've got the on-air monitor here, which is whatever is actually live on the broadcast. And then, of course, the laptop is right next to that. And so it's very simple for me to see what my available shots are in the preview here, and then to switch using these buttons to switch to whichever shot I want to go to. So I really prefer having a hardware switcher as opposed to using software to do this. I think it's much more reliable. So this is another thing that we can help local businesses with, is we can help them set up their own micro TV studio like this in order to do their own broadcasts. So I hope you enjoyed this, and it's been a while since I did a broadcast like this, but with Bitcoin going absolutely crazy, and I mean, if it hits $4,000, mainstream media is going to pick up on this. I mean, they can't keep ignoring this if it gets to that amount. So there are people, by the way, that are saying that Bitcoin could be worth $1 million for one Bitcoin. So, you know, in 5, 10 years, whenever. So let's say you own one Bitcoin, you could basically end up being a millionaire. That's how much this thing could go up. And so think about that. That's kind of interesting to wrap your head around. And then there are people that literally have thousands of Bitcoins that bought them when they were really cheap, right? Bought them when they were like $1 a piece or something. You know, for $1, you buy 1,000 of them, $1,000, right? So imagine if one's worth $1 million. So on that note, I'm going to figure out how to wrap this broadcast. I'm going to push this little button on the, this is, by the way, this is the Teradek Video Pro here. And this is the actual box that I'm using for streaming. And I'm going to push the start stop button here. Stop. I'm going to go over to yes and hit yes.